Hello and welcome to this edition of the Upsticks channel, a channel run by me, Jan, my wife Jill, and featuring quite frequently our little cat Milo. Yet again I'm on my own this time. I'll let you know why later. But I'm staying at a lovely farm called Pilsbury Lodge Farm in the Derbyshire Peak District. I'll do a quick review of the campsite. It is a working farm, so the facilities are basic but sufficient. There's a little pot wash, fridge freezer area there. There's also a sink where you can wash your face, that sort of thing. Around the corner in this little courtyard there are two unisex toilets and two showers. The showers take £1 and the second one, I think you get about 10 minutes for £1, and the second one has a lovely great big shower head as well as a normal shower head. So if you like a big shower head, that's the one to go in. Like I say, it's a working farm, so I did have to give way to a couple of tractors on the way in, and also I've got a problem parking where I wanted to, but I'll tell you that in just a moment. So the cost of this campsite, I only phoned this morning and it's going to cost me £15 a night. That's without hookup. So there are some pitches over there with electric hookup, but I want to stay in the field up there. And when I phoned this morning, I have parked up there before. When I phoned this morning and said I'd like to park in the second field on top of the hill, they said, well, ever so sorry, but they'll be tractors in there making the silage today, so I won't be able to go up there. I said, oh, never mind, I'll park down in this field area here. And then about half an hour later, I got another phone call saying that, in fact, they should be finished the silage by mid to late afternoon, and I'm quite free to go in this field after that. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you why. The second field has this very rounded hill on it, and it's possible to drive up and park up on the top. I did that about 3 years ago in my previous van, which was a little orange V-dub. Hopefully I'll put some photographs of that up on the screen now, including of when I parked up here. Now, when I came here in that last time, they were producing silage. They had the tractor in the field cutting the grass to make silage, but I didn't know anything about it, so I ended up with a tractor driving around the van which hopefully I can put that footage up as well. So my plan is to come up here later in the day, and from up here you get some fantastic views. I won't go right on the top, I'll probably come this side where it's a little bit flatter. I don't want to get stuck, though I'm sure they'd help me out with the tractor. And then I'll get some superb sunsets and sunrises across the Derbyshire hills. Beautiful. There is a bird with a curved bill flying around. It looks a bit like a curlew. It doesn't sound like a curlew unless that's a curlew's distress call, so perhaps I've disturbed it. It's got a curved bill like a curlew. I'm not quite sure. If anybody knows what that is, please pop it in a comment. Can you hear the call? I'm pretty sure I've disturbed a curlew. Please let me know. I'll move away quick. This campsite's quite special to me, really. I've been coming here for 20 years, not that often, but occasionally over 20 years. Like I say, birds keep flying up from the grass. There's obviously quite a few ground nesting birds here, so when they come to cut the silage, there's going to be a lot of birds disturbed. Anyway, where was I? Yes, I've been coming here for 20 years, and I I came here the first time with my lad who's now grown up, but I used to pick him up on a Friday night from nursery after he'd finished and I'd finished work, and I'd drive him out here and we'd stop Friday and Saturday night in a little tent somewhere along here, this bit of this field, and we had wonderful times. So that's quite a nice memory of this place. Eventually Jill started coming with us, but not until I'd bought a tent that she could stand up in. She wanted to be able to stand up, so we bought a much bigger tent. But after that, Jill also caught the camping bug, and we for many years went camping down in Cornwall every summer. Eventually we bought a big bell tent. That was fantastic. And then a few years ago, at the start of COVID, we got a V-dub, and now we have the Fiat based Etrusco campervan, 6.4 metres long. So that's our camping story. But really, as a family, it all started here, though for me it started as a Cub Scout in the 1960s, a hell of a long time ago. My plans for the rest of the day are to grab a little bit of lunch now. It's sort of very early afternoon, and I'm going to walk down into the valley to the left as I'm walking now. That's got the River Dove in it, but there's also the remains of an old fort, a Motte and Bailey fort. I don't think there's much left, but there's certainly time to do that this afternoon. And hopefully when I get back, I'll be able to drive up onto that very small hill in the next field, park up for the night, get my chair out, crack a beer and have a bit of tea. So I'll next see you when I'm walking to find this fort. I did find a nice looking little pub on my Ordnance Survey map. Not too far to walk. However, when I checked on Google, it's closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. And today is Monday. I'm here tomorrow, Tuesday. I'm leaving on Wednesday. But what I might do is, on the day I leave, I may go there and just have a drink. If I do, I'll put it in at the end of this video. I'll make it clear that it's not Monday today, but I do like to try different pubs out. I don't drink alcohol. I enjoy alcohol, but a consultant earlier this year told me I should really cut out alcohol, so I have. So what I quite enjoy is some beers that have a real beery taste. So my favourites are Guinness 0.0. I think that tastes almost identical to proper Guinness. I also like Thornbridge Green Mountain, which is a sort of a hazy, slightly hoppy ale, and that is absolutely delicious. There's lots of others that you sometimes get in pubs that I'm not too keen on, like Heineken. Don't really like that. So what I find interesting is what pubs have in. Do they have any more than Guinness 0.0, which seems to be the commonest one, although quite often they don't have any in, and they say, well, every time we get it in, it sells out. So I sort of think, well, there's a lesson there, isn't there? Get some different beers in. So I should be quite harsh if the pub only has Heineken 0. I won't be very impressed. Well, my map isn't clear whether this takes me down to the fort, but I'm going to take a punt that why else would they put a permissive path down here. So I'm going to try going this way, and I can always divert to get to see the fort, I think. This way somewhere. No, it's not quite clear where I go. I have the feeling that this track, it's hardly a track, but I think you can probably see how it's been levelled off along this hillside. It's possibly very ancient. I can hear a lark. Can you hear that? I can see it. There's no way you'll see it. It's far too small and high up. Yes, I get the feeling this track is possibly very ancient, made by farmers to get access to these areas, perhaps originally with horses and carts, I don't know. We have another stile, but I'm pretty sure that the fort is sort of down in the valley immediately to my left, and this arrow is definitely not pointing left, so I'm not sure where it goes. Can I get down there? What I may have to do is keep walking and go down to a little village called, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, it's spelt Crowdecote, so it might be Crowdecote. You may pronounce the E, it may be Crowdecote, I'm not sure. That's where the pub that's closed is. I may have to go there, walk down into the valley. Looks like I'll get a view into the valley in a moment. Let's see where the fort is. I may have to then walk down into the valley and walk back along the bottom of the valley. But I'm just going to have a little peep over here, see if I can see where that fort must be. Because I can't see. Okay, I may have to wait a little bit longer, but I'm pretty sure it's down there, but I don't want to go scrabbling down there. It looks like it might be quite steep, so I'll keep going to Crowdecote or Crowdecote. Hello, where do I go now? Oh, down here now. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I may go up to that and then down into Crowdecote and then back along the valley. You will soon find out, I think. Nearly. Oh, that was a bit steeper than I thought, but I'm down now. Well, a field with Friesians in, not my favourite cow to go through a field of. How do I get through here? I don't even know how to get in. Perhaps that's a good thing. I put it that way. No, I don't. I put it that way. Found it. Right. I think I'll give them a wide berth. Rather than follow the path which goes right next to them, I shall hug the top of the field and then drop down beyond them. You hear lots of stories about Friesians. I can't tell if they've got calves. They may well have, in which case I need to keep well away really. Please don't stand up, just stay sitting down. Yeah, I think I'm okay going this way. Well, I think that was a non-event, but they all decided to jump up for some reason. I think I'm okay. I shall keep looking behind me till I get off the field. Get out the field, which can't be far away. Are they ignoring me? Yeah. Well, it's quite a steep walk down into Crowdecote, which on another map, on the OS map, has an I in the middle, not an E. I'm pretty sure Google Maps has an E in the middle, so it's almost certainly Crowdecote, isn't it? Well, they can't make their mind up, can they? The OS map says Crowdecote with an I. No. Crowdecote with an I. Google Maps says Crowdecote with an E. And the official sign into the village has Crowdecote with an E. So it must be with an E. Here is the Crowdecote. I met a local. It's pronounced Crowdecote, not Crowdecote. Here is the Pack Horse Inn, which is closed today on a Monday, but by the magic of vlogging time travel, I'm going to have a little drink Here we go. Woo, 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 woo. Where the hell's this? This isn't the pack horse inn. And it's Tuesday, not Wednesday. This time travel is harder than I thought. Woo, 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 woo. That's the wrong pub. Try again. You got any alcohol-free beers?
Yeah, got Heineken or Guinness.
Can I have a Guinness, please?
Guinness,
yeah, lovely. It happens, I'm sure it happens. Lovely. And these crisps as well, please, yeah. Can you get through to the garden through the pub, or do you have to go out round the...
Yeah, we'll have to go through the
Just go round the door and out round the back, that's fine. Well, the pack horse does alcohol-free Guinness and Heineken. I'm going to give it 2 stars. I'm going to do a scoring system where for every beer they do that's alcohol-free for a choice, up to 4 they get a star for each. This will get 2 stars. But if one of those 4 or more is a sort of a unique beer, if you like, not one of the chain beers like Guinness and Heineken and things like that, then I'll give them the extra star and get 5. So I'm going to give the pack horse 2 stars, but at least they do have a choice, and I do like the Guinness. That's not too bad. Yeah, I like this time travel, it's good. It's a very hot day, so this is very welcome. Oh well, phew. I better do some alternative endings, haven't I? That was a really delicious, unusual alcohol-free beer. That was rubbish. All they had was Heineken Zero. They had Guinness Zero, which is okay because it's not a bad drink and I quite like that. Shame they didn't have a bigger choice. What other ending shall I put in? No alcohol-free beers. Absolute pants. Just had a glass of water after that delicious stroke rubbish stroke non-existent alcohol-free beer, and this bridle path should take me straight past the old Motte and Bailey fort remains. Quite exciting, isn't it? Let's go and see what I can find. I've taken a very small diversion off the footpath. There is actually another footpath comes this way, only 100 metres, 100 yards, this many plank units, and the footpath, this diversionary footpath goes across these stepping stones. So this is the River Dove, obviously a lot smaller than its bottom end where it joins the River Trent at a place called Newton Solney. I live in a village about 2 miles upstream from that. This is definitely a stream rather than a river. Well, it's called the River Dove still here. But it's very pretty. I'm not going to go across those stepping stones. I don't want to slip in and get wet feet. Right, back on the footpath. These relatively unassuming mounds of earth are what remains of the Motte and Bailey fort. So the Motte was the central keep that was usually built up onto the highest piece of ground, sort of a fortified keep, and surrounding it was the Bailey, which was an area around the keep, again with a fort, and these earth mounds were to make it difficult to attack. So I think they were widely used over the whole of Europe. I can see a little sign up here though, so I'm going to gather some fun facts and let you know in a minute what it says. It saves me googling anyway. It might be more accurate than Google. Whoop, can't get through the gate. I don't think they had the gate in the Motte and Bailey times. Unfortunately this is a little bit grubby, but it does show the Motte in the middle. All of these structures are wooden. There was 2 Baileys. the Motte, the keep, on the highest bit of ground. And yeah, and the history is that it was built after the Norman Conquest of 1066 and may have been after the unsuccessful rebellion in the north against William the Conqueror in 1068-9 as a reminder of the power of the king. So this castle would have controlled the Dove Valley. Let's go up to the top and see what we can see. Probably not a lot, it's just mounds of earth, but it's still history, isn't it? Some directions the fort is far better protected by huge beds of nettles, and if you've got short trousers on you need to pick your route up. But yeah, if you ever stay at that campsite it's definitely worth a walk down. I've got a feeling that that path ahead is a shorter walk down. I went along to Crowdecote, but I'm pretty sure if I walk up this route it'll take me back to where I started. Footpath continues through gate on left, not the gate below. Okay, whatever, through the kissing gate and back to the campsite, I think. Back at the farm, and I promise I'll tell you why Jill isn't with me today, why she hasn't been for one or two recent trips away. It's because my youngest is in the middle of her exams. I'm filming this in June, so it's the middle of exam season, and we don't want to leave her alone basically. So that's the only reason why I am completely on my own. So hopefully once the exams are over, and especially when she's gone to university, we'll be off on lots of big travels. Cheers. I'll see you in the morning.